Once upon a time, in a picturesque village nestled at the foot of a majestic mountain, there lived a young man named Alex. Now, Alex had earned quite the reputation for his laziness. While the villagers toiled diligently in the fields and workshops, Alex could often be found daydreaming under the shade of a giant oak tree, napping away the hours. His lack of ambition and drive had become a familiar sight to everyone in the village. One fine day, as the village went about its usual routines, a wise old monk arrived on a journey of enlightenment. The village buzzed with excitement, and soon, news of the monk's arrival reached even Alex's ears. Curious, he decided to wander over to where the monk had settled beneath a blossoming cherry tree. The monk looked at Alex with kind eyes and a gentle smile. "Young man," he said, "I have a task for you. I want you to climb to the top of that magnificent mountain and bring back a single feather from the highest peak." Alex glanced up at the daunting mountain, its peak hidden in wisps of clouds, and scoffed. "That's impossible. I'm far too lazy to climb all the way up there." The monk's smile remained unwavering. "Ah, but you see," he said, "the feather I seek is not on the mountain itself. It can only be found on the other side, hidden away in a cave accessible only by climbing to the top and descending down the other side." Alex's curiosity was piqued. A feather, hidden in a cave on the other side of the mountain, sounded like an intriguing adventure, unlike anything he had encountered before. So, with a newfound spark in his eye, he decided to take up the monk's challenge. The climb was no walk in the park. It was arduous and challenging. Alex soon found himself out of breath, legs trembling and clothes soaked in sweat. However, with every step, he felt a growing sense of exhilaration and excitement he had never known before. When he finally reached the summit, he couldn't help but gasp in awe at the breathtaking panorama that stretched out before him. A feeling of accomplishment washed over him like a warm embrace. Yet the real test lay ahead, the treacherous descent to the other side of the mountain. Stumbling and falling numerous times, Alex faced one hurdle after another, but driven by the promise of the hidden feather, he pushed himself forward. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he stumbled upon the cave, a mystical chamber that glowed with an ethereal light. There, nestled within the cave's embrace, lay the exquisite feather, shining like a precious gem. With trembling hands, Alex carefully picked it up, marveling at its brilliant colors. However, his joy was short-lived, as he realized that the real challenge had just begun. How would he climb back up the mountain with the feather and return it to the monk? For a moment, doubt crept into Alex's mind, tempting him to give up. But then, he remembered the sense of accomplishment and pride he felt when he stood atop the mountain's peak. He knew he could do it again. Summoning every ounce of strength and determination, Alex began his ascent once more. The climb was tough, his muscles ached, and his lungs burned with every breath. Yet, he persisted, driven by the knowledge that he had already conquered his laziness and achieved the impossible once before. As he reached the monk and presented him with the radiant feather, the old man's eyes twinkled with pride and admiration. "Well done, my son," the monk praised. "You have learned a valuable lesson today. Laziness is not to be accepted or tolerated. It is a challenge to be overcome, a hurdle to leap over." With the monk's wise words echoing in his heart, Alex nodded, understanding the truth they held. He now knew that he was capable of greatness, but laziness had been his greatest obstacle. From that day forward, he embraced a new path, one of discipline, consistency, and determination. The tale of Alex's journey spread throughout the village, inspiring everyone who heard it. Laziness began to wane as the villagers took on their own challenges, pushing themselves beyond their limits to achieve greatness. And so, dear listeners, let us remember the lesson from the wise old monk and the tale of the young man who overcame laziness. In our own lives, may we face each challenge with courage, embrace growth and learning, and dare to step out of our comfort zones to discover the strength and resilience that lie within us all. For it is in these moments that we too can find our own feathers of triumph on the other side of the mountain.